Okay. Let me check. I think we're live. Just going to
Yay,
double check.
hey.
No, we're not. End stream. Well, it says it is. Let me.
Well, I think we are. We must be.
Oh, wait, I'm going to double check. Yes, we are. We're there. There we go. Yeah. All right.
Okay. Well,
we are.
yeah. Well, welcome.
we're all podcast hosts, so I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. We're on your channels, John, though.
Oh yeah, fair enough. All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. We've got myself, John Cooper, Ant Critchley, and Carly Spell here to tell you the good news, the exciting news about our upcoming event called Event 101. And it's a piss take of the pandemic exercise called Event 201, which they had just happened to know what was going on in a few months in advance. So we're here to flip the script. What else is said in the trailer? Flip the script and put on our own event and basically just have a good laugh and take the piss out of everything. So hello to every one of you joining. Hello, Vargas. And yeah, how are we doing, guys? Are we excited?
I'm very excited. I'm very excited. It's I mean, I've not done this kind of event before. I'm not much of a comedian, so I must admit I'm not going to be Abby Roberts. I'm glad we've got Abby Roberts there because she can really roll out the funny shit. And I think we're very lucky actually because we've got two really good guys that are going to be with us on the evening, well through the day. Actually, I think it's going to be cracking.
Yeah. Carly, do you want to mention your a genius moment of calling it Event 101, where that came from? The gods.
Yeah, I suppose it started off just as our group, didn't it? So we can kind of collaborate because obviously I've known Ant for a long time, and then I met you, John, through Nicola, and then we've been friends ever since. And I kind of put us all together because I thought we all were having similar ideas about doing an event, weren't we? Me and Ant talked about doing an event together, and obviously me and John. And then I said, well, 3 is the magic number, right? Boom, boom, boom. So event 101, yeah. So obviously they did the 201, didn't they? Which Ant probably knows more about than me because I've got a perimenopausal brain. But obviously they were, testing out the capacities and abilities to be able to kind of lock us all down for however long, etc. and so on. So it just seemed that it made sense. Now 101, I suppose, in that kind of a cult sense, room 101 is where elephants go to die and nobody comes back, kind of Bermuda Triangle kind of thing, but yeah, so it just kind of came from there, kind of that just taking the piss, really, and mocking them as they mock us, really. I mean, over to Ant, really. I think Ant could probably explain it far better than I can. It was just my. There used to be a show, didn't there? Ant called Room 101.
Room 101, there was, yeah. I never watched it though, to be honest, because I don't watch much TV. But in terms of Event 201, yeah, it was a proper piss take, really. And they're all sat around a table, all these weft toads, and they're all just, you know what I mean, lapping it up. And they were basically they were saying this virus was going to come from some pigs or something, and it was going to wipe out half the planet. So they were. I think it was only months previous to they rolled out the Wuhan bat bollock. So it's yeah. So basically, it deserves ridicule because it's just shit. It's just shit.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, when people look back on that, why did that not? Oh, I don't know. Why am I even bothering saying this question? I was going to say, why did that not wake people up? But I guess we're beyond that, aren't we? Now we clearly know the situation. I'm guessing this event isn't going to be for your typical, NPC normie muggle, whatever we call it. Well, but they might want to come along. Come, bring your family.
I mean, I think people should really have grasped at the moment that guy in China fell to the ground and put his hands in front of himself to stop his fall. That was the one that came across all the news channels, and that everyone's going to die. And then what was he called? Ferguson in the Imperial College in London decided to have his calculator out and decide that we're all going to die. So yeah, it deserves ridicule, really. So that's what Event 101 is going to be about.
Exactly. Yeah, it's about time. About time there was an event like this. Yeah,
I think
I don't know what
I
to
was
say.
thinking about it earlier, and we forget, don't we, which is kind of what we're going to be doing. I mean, I don't want to give too much away at the event, but
Yeah.
we have orchestrated it to a fine tune to have some of the best comedy moments. But the best comedy moments aren't that difficult to find in it, are they? Really, for the whole malarkey, because early on, it's like you have to remind yourself, don't you? The nurses and the doctors, doing these choreographed dances, and when they had all the dummies in the beds and that, those news
Mannequins as
stories
well.
went
That was
out
the
across
first thing, wasn't it? The
Italy.
mannequins.
They weren't
Yeah.
even real. And then, when all the body bags were on the floor, people were just like, they were moving them, but individuals were just picking them up and moving them over. They're like heavy dead body, the whole thing, and it makes me laugh at the moment because we were just laughing on off camera because John put up a post about saying, it's that kind of truth of bypassing where everything's a psyop, everything's scripted, everyone's a tranny. But you've got to kind of laugh really because the fiction of it, that fear and fiction, or the fiction that creates the fear, it's palpable and it's real. So it's kind of like, yeah, we're all a bit fucks in the head, not knowing what to think anymore. But like Ant said, one thing that we do know is it's funny. Because and I know people say, Callie, why is that woman laughing? This isn't funny. Because these are serious topics, but there's a dark humor to it, isn't there? And that's what this event's about. Because if we don't laugh, we cry, and that's we're not kind of minimizing stuff. But I think once you get to, and I don't mean our level, you have got to just kind of observe it and have a little bit of a chuckle, or you'll cry.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
what I
because we
think.
were toying with the idea of calling it Pure Blood Party and only inviting in people that are pure blood. So that's kind of the inception of the kind of the energy behind it. By the way, I want to show. I think it'd be a good time just to show the little video for everyone now that we're all in. So I'm going to just add this so everyone can watch this. This is the trailer to Event 101.
Remember Event 201, that little pandemic exercise they ran in 2019? Only months before they shut the world down, they told us we needed to save Granny. They told us to trust the science. But this October, we are flipping the script with the delightful Abby Roberts, the magnificent Gareth Ike, and hosted by John Cooper, Kaylee Spell, and Ant Critchley. We present to you Event 101, an exercise in clown world sanity preservation. Because if you don't laugh, you will cry. Tickets on sale now from event101.org.
There we go. Boom.
I want to go to that. It sounds really good.
Yeah, I really want to go to that. Yeah. So on that note, let's put up. So yeah, if anyone wants to get their tickets, we've got super early bird ticket prices running at the moment. It's in Birmingham, so it's nice in the middle of the country. So the north can get there, the south can get there. It's on a Sunday, free parking on the street. You can park right outside. Come for the day. Get there at 3 o'clock. The doors open. And then the first act's going to be 4 p.m. We're going to go till 9 p.m. And then if you want to stay, you can have a drink. The bars can actually stay open till about 2 a.m. if you're a really party animal. But yeah, come down, get your tickets now, guys. We've already started selling quite a few. There's only 100 capacity in the room. And yeah, it's going to be great. Look, we're hoping. I think if we do this, we can do it again and make a little roadshow out of it. But we want to make sure that the first one, all the best people are there, and let's make a great atmosphere. And we've got some great speakers come in and comedy and everything. So yeah, event101.org, and yeah, it tells you a little bit more on there as well.
The venue looks cracking as well, John, doesn't it? We've had a little look at that venue, and it's it's nice and intimate, and I think it's going to be a really cool setting, and good people are going to be there. We've already heard a few names that are going to be coming along as well. Mark Devlin's going to be coming and selling his books, which is nice. He's going to be there in the corner, but it'll be nice to see him. And there'll be a few names there that people will recognise. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think I know Victoria's coming, the whistleblowing midwife. She's going to be there. Like you say, you mentioned a few others, and we've got a few other special surprise guests. And I think that's what I'm looking forward to. It's going to be very intimate. To create the FOMO here, don't want to push the FOMO here, but it is, it's an intimate venue, isn't it? So We're doing the early birds, but then it is going to be, you know, going up to full price the closer it gets to it. So it's going to be a fun do because we're all going to be like squidging nice and funny. Everyone's going to be on top of everybody, if that's your thing. You know, especially if I've had a few drinks. I mean, I'm going to stay the night in Birmingham, so I'll be there propping up the bar. Not till later, not till the work's done, of course. But I'm going to stay. And so yeah, it's going to be good. There'll be loads of familiar faces. It's going to be a riot. It's going to be a hoot.
Yeah.
Are we going to invite Matt Hancock? I think he should come along, really. I think he'd be a really interesting guest to have in an intimate venue that we could close the door on.
We were thinking pin the tail on the Hancock, weren't we, or something, or like
yeah.
That was one of the ideas, wasn't it? But like a Hancock pinata that we can all just bash the crap out of, you know.
Yeah.
Or a real one.
Hang him up.
On Trump, when we're going to have some life-size kind of Trump cardboard cutouts that we could all throw darts at. Controversial. I know everyone thinks Trump's coming to save them. He's not. Let's not go there, you know. Don't upset everyone straight off the bat. But yeah, actually, it's going to be a good. I think if you've got a certain mindset, like if you like us, you'll be all right. If you don't, it'll be all right. Come and throw fruit at us. It's going to be classic.
And actually, on Trump, one of the special surprise guests that's coming is got he's entangled with Trump, shall we say? That's what I'm going to say. So he's got a very interesting story with him and Trump.
Yeah, of course.
So that's all I'm going to say. But it's fascinating. Like blows your mind what's happening at the moment behind the scenes. So hopefully he'll be there. Actually, hopefully he can make that. But yeah, so he's potentially one of the surprise guests. And yeah, that's it. See you later, everyone. We're good. By the way, just to let everyone know, what we want to do is we're actually going to be running a competition. So we're actually going to give away 2 free tickets to the event. And what we want to do, and I'll write this up as well in the description of this video so you can see it, but we're going to give 2 free tickets away. And all you have to do is we're going to send you you're going to see the link to the event on Facebook. We just want you to start your own post. So create your own post and tag 5 people in it. That's all you have to do. Tag 5 of your friends in the post. And then go on. And what are you about to say?
That's within the discussion, isn't it, of the event
within
itself?
The discussion. Yeah. So within the actual discussion of the event itself, create a post within that. Tag 5 of your friends, and then what we'll do on our next live that we'll just pick someone at random. We'll have our own random generator system or something, all right? So we're not going to be biased. And then we'll give you 2 free tickets. So that's all you have to do to get 2 free tickets. And yeah, good luck with that. And I'll also write this up in the description of the video.
And I guess if people have already bought tickets, if people want to go and buy them, we could always just refund them. And you know what I mean? If people are like, obviously with the FOMO and they've bought them today, say, then we could always just refund the tickets they've bought, couldn't we? Or they can have another 2 tickets to invite another 2 people, or they can run their own competition. Yes. I mean, who would want to do that?
Get on stage and do a talk.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah, out of interest, guys, why do you think our 2 guests, if you like, for our first event, why do you think that would appeal? You know, we've got Gareth Icke and Abby Roberts. Is anything that appeals to you in particular?
Do you know what I think? For me, Gareth, because I didn't know much about Abby until you pointed me onto her. But Gareth's someone that's like, he's really stepped into his own man. He's his own brand. He's like, I think he's an unbelievable researcher, and he comes across so down to earth, so trustworthy, so, you know, like approachable, and it comes across in the way that he speaks. I think he's brilliant, Gareth. You know, he takes very complex ideas, but he says it in a very approachable way. So I really like.
He's very balanced, isn't he? I think he's balanced. I think the speech at Trafalgar Square was what really did it for me for Gareth, when he stole the show, if you like, at that massive event at Trafalgar Square. I thought he was fantastic. I mean, I've become quite friendly with Abby over the past few years, and she's very outspoken. She pisses a lot of people off, but she makes a lot of people laugh. She's going to be good fun. She's controversial, And that's what you want, really. You want that in a comedian, someone who's she don't pull any punches, which is what we want. And she was fantastic during the COVID's time. You know, she got fired from GB News. She got arrested when she was planning on chucking a can of beans on Matt Hancock, and she got arrested for swearing. She's a bit of a ledge, really. Love her to bits.
That's brilliant. So she actually got arrested, did she?
She got arrested. Beans? Yeah. You know what? It was really traumatic for her as well. And she might talk about it in the event. She might do it. She did it when she came to do the festival that I held. She did talk about it because it was quite recent when it happened to her at that point. And it was quite traumatic because they kept her in a cell overnight. And she was really worried because she didn't know what they were going to do to her. They could have made her out to be a big scapegoat. You know, they could have done anything. So it was really tough for her, that, but she's obviously making light of it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was basically, it was on the news, and you can see her. It's on GB News, and she's like behind the camera, and she's swearing. And the copper basically said to her something along the lines of, "If you keep swearing, then we're going to arrest you." And she went, "Oh, fuck off," or something. You know.
That's brilliant.
So they arrested her, but she actually had in a handbag. Yeah, they're swearing, but she had a can of beans in her handbag that she was gonna. I think she was actually gonna like take the lid off and chuck it on.
So she was actually arrested just for saying the F-bomb.
For swearing.
Really, that was it.
Yeah, she got done for swearing. Yeah, and the thing is, Abs doesn't not swear. If you know Abs, like, I mean, she's got the wall of cunts for one. You know, that's a big thing for Abs. If you go on YouTube and search for the wall of cunts, you'll find she'll not hold back with Abs. You know what I mean?
I thought that the swearing in public's allowed. Carly, you might know more, like as a lawyer background, but you're allowed to swear in public, aren't you?
The policy officers will just do anybody now for public order offence with no idea of what that actually means. You know, so again, it's all about jurisdiction, innit? If you're a living man or woman and you've caused harm, injury, or loss, and you can bring a claim in a court of law, but of course that none of that goes on anymore. So I'm just going to bore everyone to death now for 2 minutes, but in legal, you know, it's just presumptions and assumptions, and you can just offend somebody now. You can breathe on somebody the wrong way now, and you know, that can be inferred one way or another by a policy officer who all, you know, they've got rid of real coppers, but even, you know, the coppers are there to protect the elites, that, you know, but they were supposed to be just keep the peace. So of course you have a right to swear and, you know, stand there praying silently or sit on a bench and eat a sandwich, because you're not causing anyone any harm, injury, or loss. You know, it's as simple as that. But we don't have any. All our courts are administrative courts, even the Royal Courts of Justice, they're all admin courts. So it's all bullshit. It's all fiction in the realm of fiction, in the realm of the dead. So we're here to breathe some life. Hopefully back in. But yeah, Abby's great. I to be honest, I heard Ant talk about her a lot, and I'd never really checked her out in maybe my ignorance and laziness and just busyness. But obviously when we were, you know, going together and Booker, not together, like, you know, going out, not hiding in the bushes together or anything like that. But yeah, she's, I was like, wow, bloody hell, she's a force. How that is that's being outspoken. I like her. I'll have her. She's booked. Put my name down. Yeah, she sounds brilliant. I can't wait actually to see her.
Things with Abby, and I was saying to
Gareth,
John,
I'm with you on Gareth. Yeah, I think Gareth's brilliant. I think he's a great orator. He's like you say, quite very balanced, and you know, we're very lucky to have him, and very fortunate that he's agreed to come and host, and so it's going to be really cool. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I was just saying with Abby, like I was saying to John just off camera, is Abby will fully fight for your opinion and your voice, even if she doesn't agree with it. You know, we may not agree with each other, but she would fight for your freedom of speech, even though I think we can pretty much say freedom of speech doesn't really exist too much. But that's Abby's stance, really, and I think that's really important. I think that's why there's a big value for Abby to be at Event 101, so we can really take the piss out of the arseholes that ruined our fucking few years in 2020. Twats.
Yeah. Yeah, she's, I mean, that's amazing, isn't it? You know, people, that's how I look at it sometimes, some of the things that come out of my gob, you know, hopefully we say the things that people are thinking and want to say, but sometimes that's not their role. You know, they've got other important things to be adding and, you know, to the whole nonsense. So I think that's, you know, at this day and age now, speaking truth or your truth, as long as you're doing it, you know, from right action and trying to be as cool as possible with it and not offend anyone too. Yeah. You remember the 90s? We offended people all the time, but nobody got arrested. And that's the difference. That's what's gone on now since 1993. Tony Blair removing this and that, and here we are, like, you know, freedom of speech is down the toilet. I mean, it's a big and Orwellian nightmare, isn't it? Really, but I don't do the fear porn particularly. But it's here. You know, we're not waiting for a war. We're in one. But yeah, we've got to just kind of keep going, haven't we? Keep doing what we're doing.
I think this event that we're doing, I think, you know, it's going to be funny in parts, but it's going to be serious in parts as well. I think we're going to be talking about some real moments that are coming our way. You know, digital ID is going to come up, isn't it? I know Gareth's been very prominent recently talking about that, and that's a real crucial point that I'm sure will appear in the event itself. And I'm sure, you know, that we're gonna have a section where audience members would be able to ask questions to the panel as well at some point. So there might be an opportunity for audience members to get involved as well.
Yeah, I think it's just so important to go into the dark matters, but bring comedy and light into it. I think that's how you defeat it, right? I think you pace and lead, and then you bring it out into the light by using comedy, humor. Because if you get stuck into it and just allow yourself to be dragged into the negativity of all of it, then you become part of it. I think the key is to be, what's the expression, in it but not of it, kind of thing. In it, but then transmute it through comedy, humor, to show that you can transcend it. Not be like, you know, new agey transcend it, but just transcend and include it. You know, trying not to be dragged into the darkness of it, but be aware of it, but just bring some humor to, you know, brighten it up a little bit. I think that's the kind of the key, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
It's that be of the world, not in it, isn't it? You know, that's that being the observer, but you that's why I just observe it and laugh, but also you've still got to do the right action because it's for your own growth, really. It's an inside job, yeah. But that's why, you know, kings always had court jesters, and they were given, you know, you weren't allowed to hang the court jester, or because that was the whole point, you know, like Abby Roberts is the court jester. The whole point is that, you know, it's funny. And, you know, people like that, you know, if you were a king, and those like kings of old that were public servants for the people, by the people. We don't have those anymore. In fact, we don't have a king. He's a liege lord, but let's not go there. I'll be here all night. But yeah, exactly. You know, if we can't laugh at it and we can't roast it, then our freedom of speech, you know, it really does show where we're up to, doesn't it? And they are trying to shut the comedians up, aren't they? That's part of it. They're trying to shut everything up, but they won't shut us up because here we are. And that's why it's so important that people do understand what their unalienable rights are and all that. But, you know, come see me at Dark Matters pub. We've got the answers for that.
It's happening, isn't it? You've got the answers. It's happening.
Oh yeah, we've got it. We've got the answers. We're in the Royal Courts of Justice. Let me at him. Let me at him. But you know, the pen is absolutely mightier than the sword in 2025. If indeed that is even the fucking year. I mean, we don't know.
That's a very good point. It's a very good point. I know one thing though, Callie, if I always said if the shit hits the fan, I'll be right behind you, because your brain works really well at things like that. I can't. My brain just cannot handle the stuff that you do. Honestly, I literally can't. So when you came doing that event at the pub, it was during when the pubs weren't even allowed to obviously be open.
Yeah.
And you came and did that event. I thought, if the coppers come, it's fine. Callie's here. It's fine. I'll just let Callie do the talking. It'll be all right.
9 times out of 10, I have to say I've won. There's some I haven't. It's a big beast. It's a big machine, but I can guarantee people it is going down of its own volition in a way. But that's kind of the double bluff, isn't it? As we know, that beast plays both sides, and then that is where the discernment comes in. You know, like that's why I was joking, saying, you know, love us or hate us, you know, come through fruit us, because it is that court jester, and it's like, that's what we've got to kind of keep doing, I think. I'll still battle that. It's like battling Rome, battle the bastards, but it is a collective kind of awakening without sounding too cheesy, man. But it's all consciousness, as we know, so we've just got to keep plugging away at it. I don't think we'll see the end of it in my lifetime. But the John Connors of this world coming up behind us, the pure blood younglings, and there are lots of them who know who they are and know how it works. God help that machine, because it's. I'll be watching from a different dimension, or I'll come back because I'm a masochist, a kamikaze, looking lunatic, one or the other.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, so go on, John. What were your thoughts when you saw the madness of Wuhan? Where were you at that point?
Well, no, because it was what did it for me was the mannequins, and I was thinking, and I remember so I mentioned it on social media, and this was like when everyone was sort of believing in it, and it was Italy. Remember, that was one of the first ones, right? And I just posted up. They actually took a scene that was it, a photo from a New York hospital, and they said it was Italy, and they had them.
Right.
Do you remember? I don't know if you remember that.
That's
so
right,
I just posted that up, which is objectively true. They'd stolen that photo. And I remember my ex-girlfriend and her friend just came down to me like a ton of bricks, like I was the worst person in the world for mentioning that. And I was like, what's going on here? But it's actually, they've just taken that photo from New York. Carly's gone. And and I was like, this is fucked. And then obviously they were making it out to be that the hospitals were filled up to the brim. So
that's right.
Me and my mate went. This is like when it was scary to go out the house kind of feeling, right? We actually went to a hospital and we filmed it. And we even on the way there, we were saying, look, guys, I can tell you now, it's going to be fucking empty, right? And everyone's like, no. How can you say that? How can you say that? It's going to be, we're there, dead. The hospital was just completely empty. And they're showing it. That kind of ruffled a few people, Oh, yeah, no, but they're on the COVID wards, and all this sort of stuff. But yes, that was the thing. I think and then I remember going down to Speaker's Corner in about
I remember saying
about
that.
April 2020, when the lockdowns just started. I went straight down to Speaker's Corner, got up on my soapbox, and I was just basically saying, don't fall for this, don't wear the mask. I said don't wear the mask because the mask is the first stepping stone towards keeping this lie going, because it's a visual clue. It reminds everyone that this is going on. So I was actually saying, still got the video, just take that mask off. Don't fall for it, because they're going to bring out something in a few months. Uncle Bill, I even said Uncle Bill's going to have something in a few months. You watch. I argued with a few people at Speaker's Corner, and then some guy was wearing his mask outdoors. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And so that's kind of, I knew at that point, and I brought on a few guests. Really opened my mind to just contagion theory in general. And do you know what? And I actually think, in a way, it's been really good, because I'll never ever have anything now.
Yeah.
Whereas before I would have done, but now I won't have any of them. So actually, it's going to improve my health, this whole debacle.
Yeah, I'm the same. So I travelled in the past, and I'd had an arm spear, if you like, and to travel yellow fever or whatever it was, but I wouldn't even do that now. There's going to be nothing that's going in there anymore. It was interesting. But I remember that time I did a video actually and released. It's on Odyssey, and it's like 3 days before they actually released the actual toxic stuff in the UK. Basically, just don't take it. That was the video, really. And wow, I got some proper hits for that.
Yeah.
Oh, big heat.
I started to do a lot of videos, really breaking down germ theory, contagion theory.
Did you? Yeah.
And I did some really good presentations on it. People just aren't majority of people just aren't ready for that. Carly's trying to get back in. I'm trying to get her back in. Carly, where you gone?
Debbie Evans is there. Hey, Debbie.
Yeah. So.
It
Debbie,
was a wild time, wasn't it? Though, when you look back, it's just the way they've changed the world. The world has changed
Yeah.
I mean, the world changed massively, and a lot of the time people forget to talk about it. And obviously 9/11 was yesterday, it was 24 years ago.
Yeah.
And the world changed horrifically from that point. And then 2020 hit, and it's changed it again. And I'm sure they're going to create some other event. I'm sure they're going to be some other planned event for us.
Pandemic 2.0. It's got to be on the cards, isn't it? I think that they have one goal, let's say, but they've got different things that they try. So I think one's the old pandemic, right? I think another one's climate change, and I think maybe, I'm trying to think. There's probably some other angles that they come in at mass immigration, mass migration,
well,
right? And then they test the water, right? And then they see how far they can go with one thing to see if they can. And if as soon as that hits the wall, then they traverse into the next one. And sometimes they run all of them at the same time, and they just hop to which one's creating the most traction on the public to get them towards that goal of the smart cities, the digital IDs and stuff like that.
100%. They went for it in 2020 with that one narrative, though, didn't they? And globally. And they
I've got my own conspiracy theory of a conspiracy theory. Do you want to hear this one?
Yeah, go on.
I've never heard anyone talk. I think Brexit was created just to allow them to dot the I's and cross the T's in the years just before the rollout of the pandemic, because that legitimized them meeting behind closed doors, traveling to different countries, meeting up in their groups, to make sure that they had to pull this off. Because how much planning would have gone into that? 2020, like that's a good 10 years, I think, that went into that. Obviously, the ideas for it became way before that, but the real solid planning of that is a 10-year project, right? So it's like the lead up to the event, they would have made sure they had to meet up. That's just my own little theory on that, because Brexit really nothing changed with Brexit, has it? Like, apart from you can't travel so easily now, nothing's really changed at all. So clearly that for me was a smokescreen to allow these politicians and leaders and WF members just to have that last few months, couple of years, whatever it was, just to meet up and get it. I mean, that's just my own little conspiracy theory of a conspiracy theory.
Nothing would surprise me at all. No. It was definitely planned for a very long time, without a shadow of a doubt. The event 201 was just a little, here we go, we're going to release something. And interestingly, they've started another event. The NHS has started an event in September this year, and it's running till November, and it's called Pegasus, apparently.
Oh, it's another one of those event 201 jobbies.
It's another 201. It's not as good as event 101, which is in Birmingham on October the 5th. Get your tickets. But yeah, they're rolling. They're doing that now. Pegasus. Debbie Evans will tell us. She'll tell us. Debbie Evans knows everything about the NHS, so Debbie will tell us. But they're basically talking shit till November, and then they're going to tell us we're all going to die. Something like that.
Cool. They're going to do a bit of predictive programming on that one. I'm just going to tell Carly, she's trying to get back in. One second. I'm just going to say, try again. By the way, just shout out to Debbie Evans. What a legend, Debbie, you are.
She's a legend. Absolutely legend.
Debbie Evans, for everyone, ex-NHS nurse, did a show with me. Debbie, that's my most popular show this year on my channel. That everyone's asking me to come back on. So Gobby Granny in the house. Oh, here's Carly.
True superstar, an absolute legend.
Yeah.
And here's another legend, Callie Spell.
I think the Matrix heard me dissing it. Like, I think Rome was like, battles, well, yeah, fuck off. Honestly, I have the worst problems with connections and connecting to the internet at the moment that I won't bore you with, but I'm back. I made it back on a different browser. Thanks, guys.
We were just talking about, Pegasus. Do you know about that, Carly?
Oh, right, yeah.
Pegasus,
yes, I do. It's the new one, isn't it, that they're going to be running, I believe.
Yeah, it's already started in September till November. Yeah, we're all going to die.
It's the ultimate way to kind
we're
of.
We're already dead. I see.
Debbie, what is dead? Me and Debbie did a chat the other day, which was out on my channel about the. It's very dark and deep, actually, about the organ situation and how
right, yeah.
You know, that the fact, are you dead or not?
That's scary. After watching that, I immediately opted out of my organ donation. You know, it takes.
I did it a while back.
it takes 30 seconds to do as well. It doesn't take long.
Yeah.
Go on that website and just
yeah,
click, click, bang.
I found out about the blood donor stuff and the organ stuff quite a few years back, like, and I was like, wow. But yeah, great work on that documentary. Like, I mean, it's all coming to light, innit? But
yeah.
I think
That's
somebody
true,
put up on
though.
Facebook that the difficulty, at least for a little minute, we were kind of all getting on the same. This is what they do, innit? We're all kind of getting on the same page about COVID, and then they bring something else out that's just another effing divide in, you know, especially in the truth of stuff where, like this Charlie Kirk stuff, and, you know, I'm not going to get into any detail of it because, you know, it's a hot topic and people get offended. But, you know, it's like, fucking hell, it just seems like we're starting to get on the same page, and they'll give us something else to divide us and something else for us all to argue about, like, and it's like, oh God, it's just like, I can't look, but I do.
I think it's okay to look. It's just like, you know, getting too engaged in it where you're giving up your daily life a bit, you know. But it's, yeah, I think it's okay to look. It's just not get stuck into it too much. Because like I said before we came on camera, I just got back from Serbia, and because everyone's speaking Serbian and different language, you're in a different place. You just do not pick up on any politics, anything going on in the world. You actually it's almost like just going back to being a kid again, just enjoying your life, going to the park. You don't get all that contaminating noise, white noise just affecting you, you know. It's only when I come back, suddenly everyone talks about the same things. You can't help but get drawn into that morphic, whatever you want to call it, morphic field of fear and paranoia. I feel like I'm back in it again, just coming back. But when I'm abroad, I don't get it. I'm completely it's like I'm living life.
You know? Well, it's like we were saying, though, isn't it? If you hadn't have seen the news or read a newspaper headline or switch your social media on in 2020, you'd never known anything was happening apart from the fact the streets were empty because every other fucker was watching the news. You know, nothing happened, did it? You know what I mean? Nobody was dropping down in the street or anything like that. So nothing was happening on that level. But you know, without the news, the fear, the propaganda, you know, we're bad for it ourselves because we'll switch social media on and we'll be doom scrolling like buggery, and we're addicted to it, you know, and we do need to disconnect ourselves a little bit from it because it's not really healthy, is it? However, we do need to know what's going on as well, so it's really important that we have these conversations. It's really important that people like Debbie Evans, is the work she's doing to bring this news to people, that people realize what's going on. You know, there's things coming onto our doorstep very soon with digital ID. Really important that we're in unison. This is why they want us divided, you know, that we're in unison and we're all shouting from the same hymn sheet, and we're like, it's a big fat no, we don't want it, we're not having it. You know, we've got to keep that balance tipped, and the general public need to know the dangers of signing up for this, not just for them themselves, but for their kids and their grandkids. You know, there's a hill with this one coming. I think we're about to join forces again. I think, like we did in 2020, we all stood up together at that point, and it was very important that we did. And I think that's coming again now.
What do you think of the idea that potentially what could happen is two different realities are kind of coexisting? So you could have the smart cities, digital IDs, cashless systems, like not that we don't have surveillance now, but those people will gravitate towards that because it will be sold through convenience, won't it? That's how it will be sold to them. You can get your fastest, you can download your videos in 1 second now. Like your average person will love it. But do you think it will create like a breakaway parallel culture, you know, of people who are more awake, more connected, want to do more things not necessarily off the grid, but, you know, set up their own communities, farm, you know, like the Mark Byford farms, connect with those. I almost feel it's going to create that kind of dual, you know, society. I don't know what you guys think about that.
I think it was on the edge in 2020, and people talked about it. And when we had a little community at the pub, and people were living out the back, and Callie will remember that. You know, we had quite, you know, that's why the village hated me really, because I had like about 30 people living in the back garden. You know, we created our own community. So anyway, you know, but there was talk of that. How do we get land and this, that, and the other? And now but when it comes down to the reality, well, you know, when it came to the reality of it, though, John, when the Ukraine thing came in, and
Yeah.
and the COVID's died off. Everyone fucking hated each other, and that was the fact of it. So I don't really like you, and that was the problem.
Oh no, that was
That-
the
that-
thing
that- I think
held
that-
everyone together.
Yeah, that is the big problem with groups, isn't it? And then I know what you're saying, it's a bit conspiracy theories. Imagine if we were a bunch of those, because it's all come true. But people end up, groups get infiltrated and people end up stabbing each other in the back, and we saw a lot of that, didn't we? And it's sad, but I keep my circle quite close, of which you two are in it, but then just I think I skipped, hopped and jumped into it all. I was just so excited in one way that, I'd been talking about this shite for 20 odd years, and now there it was, and people were seeing it, and people were actually inviting me to talk and saying, instead of saying, Jill, shut the fuck up, you're boring us now, you're a conspiracy theorist, yada yada. So I was just like, wow. And then when people started donating for me to talk, I was like, people are actually going to pay me to talk. And I'd been ostracized pretty much all my life. So in a way, I was really excited, and I had this naivety to me, really, and whether that's my Aspergic nature or what, thinking we were all in it together and everybody was on the same page and everybody wanted to help each other, but not really particularly realizing in my sheltered that actually, no, that isn't how people are, and people are in it for themselves, and people, we can all, benefit in that stuff. I don't think we all have to live in cardboard boxes to be speaking truth. I don't think that has to be the case either. And we get a lot of stick, don't we, if we ask for a donation or something, but this is our work that we do all the time, plus having to work, now as well. And it's not easy some days, but yeah, it just seemed like, fucking hell, I thought, wow, I didn't realize people were such cunts, quite frankly. until you start going and joining all these groups, and then so I tend to just stick to people, pardon my French for that, but who do tend to be pure-hearted and have a chuckle at it and do it for the right reasons. And because like you say, doom scrolling and staring at it till you fall into the abyss of that, that black square on your phone, you're joining in with it more, right? And it's balance, Danielson, again, isn't it? Really, you've got to try and just find the balance in it, get on with your life. But growing your own vegetables and minding your own business is probably, I always used to have a laugh in my aunt saying, like, there's Rome on the march with all its paraphernalia. I'll be there, me with a carrot at the end days, okay, like chasing them off down road, like shoot me in the head, but fine. I'll go happy. I'll go in a blaze of glory like Billy here.
I tried growing veg, and I was really shit at it. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. This is the thing. We've been educated so much that we go for convenience. That's the key to it. The whole thing, the way the systems work, they have us, and they keep us addicted to these systems, and we're scared of trying the simple life in a way, really. Back in day, our grandfathers and grandmothers, they'd have been growing their own food, wouldn't they? They'd be out foraging and this, that, and the other, and we've lost that skill set. So there is an art form there that really does need to come back, because if the shit does hit the fan, we're going to have to learn how to do that.
Get that crossbow out.
It's in its box.
It's rusted up.
I'm living in fucking Fort Knox at the moment. I'm going to be dusting it out in a minute, I tell you, because it's frightening.
Have you actually used it, William? Tell.
I've not. It's still in its box. I've got 5 arrows.
Oh, Jesus! But I hope you're good.
That'll keep me good. Oh yeah, I'll be good.
Yeah. By the way, what did you guys make of the the zombie? They mentioned like what to do in a zombie apocalypse on.
It's on the CDC website, wasn't it?
CDC, wasn't it? Yeah,
yeah.
I sometimes think that it's kind of like predictive programming, isn't it? Or they're kind of seeding in things to the collective consciousness.
Have you ever been?
What do you think the games do with that?
Well, have you ever been in Wigan Town Centre? If you walk down the Wigan Town Centre, seriously, it's happening. Yeah, right. It's happening. It's quite frightening, really.
Yeah, and it's right. I've noticed that in northern towns, and we've grown up in northern towns, haven't we, Anne? And the northern towns, did I say northern towns 3 times? Yes, I did. But they have had, a heavy assault on, the agenda, let's say, and I mean, Bolton, particularly over the last 50 years, but Wigan was always a fairly affluent northern market town, as was Bolton back in the day. I mean, Bolton suffered very, harshly. That's my hometown, and it's quite sad to see, but it is what it is. And we allowed it, really. But Wigan, I was shocked, really. That it had kind of got to that point, you know. I mean, I make bad jokes because, you know, again, that's what we've got to do. But I said, you know, like Chorley, you know, I don't think you can get into Chorley unless you've got a disabled pass. And that's nothing against the disabled pass. It is just a joke, guys. But, you know, it just seems, same with that, you know, people just seem to be like dragging the legs, or they've got a hump, or everyone's a bit kind of on their arse, and it were never like that, weren't it? I was having a conversation with a friend saying, you didn't notice that debt slavery as much back in, say, when we were younger, because we all had like 3 holidays a year, didn't we, going away with your mates? We all had extra money to buy, you know, nice clothes. We had a good car. You didn't, whereas, you know, that squeeze that's gone on to get us to this level of austerity, which is always, you know, part of the plan, because it's the asset strip, you know. Hello, welcome to, you know, we've always been asset stripped. It's just so they're not hiding it anymore, are they? You know, and it's like they're coming for everything, because, you know, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. I mean, we don't own anything anyway, but again, that's another conversation. But you can see it, can't you, Ant? Like, people just seem downtrodden. But then again, a lot of them, you know, probably double, triple jabs, you know, probably got all these health. People look unhealthy, don't they? And people, you know, cheap food is cheap, you know, crap food is cheap, and being healthy, crikey, it costs a fortune, doesn't it? You know, you try and just get out of that box, and it's so fucking ridiculous. They've took everything from us and sold it back. It's as simple as that.
You know what?
And the land and the mineral rights are all ours. It's all ours. It always was.
My mate Darren Diog made a good point. It's that, you know, they call it superfood, right? And all it is food. Right, but they've called it superfood. But no, it is just the natural. It is just the normal natural food that you get, and they call it superfood to make it sound like the abstraction or some kind of like you're leveling up through the food. No, that's the original baseline food that you get off the ground, and that's superfood.
Yeah.
Have you seen the state? Speaking of towns and northern towns, I mean, I don't know what it's like down south, because I don't, apart from going visiting my daughter, and she lives in a really nice area. But if you go to the seaside towns in the north, they are ruined. They are ruined. Right. It's horrendously. They've just let it to rot. I mean, I think you live not too far from some of the seaside towns, don't you, in North Wales, Callie? And you know, I was in Rhyl only about 12 months ago, and it's shocking. Blackpool is shocking. It's tragic to see how bad they've let these towns just disintegrate. Really.
Why is that, and what's happened to them?
Well, they're just no investment. There's all the high streets are knackered. People are on drugs or alcohol problems. You can see it. That's the zombie apocalypse in a way. You see them wandering around in a world of their own, and it's tragic. And this is all the system that's destroying people. It shouldn't be happening. You know, these are human beings. It shouldn't be happening.
Tony in the chat has said a guy called Billy Moore has a podcast that shows the decimation of the North, and decimation of the North is a term I tend to use as well. The North have got it, you know, particularly harsh. I mean, I remember going to Bolton in the height of lockdowns and all that, and they had the TV screens going, "Listen to your government, stay home." You know, it was like so Orwellian, and they'd actually painted permanently, like raised up, like, you know, like a road sign on the road. You know, they paint on the road itself, saying "Stay home, save lives," and you know, it was like wow. And yeah, I mean, like say, I went to St. Helens after doing a talk up there, and I was shocked. Because, like Ant says, it was like The Walking Dead, and that's why they take the piss in these. You know, they're always putting zombie movies out, The Walking Dead, because obviously they class us as the dead fiction. Our language is a dead entity. We're all dead in the hell realm, because London is classed as Hades, and you're on that Argo Navi ship in the heavens, and it will take you down to Hades again, the maritime ship, if you don't correct who you are. Like, that's why I'm still so passionate about the law, because it's just a huge key to all of it. And when you unlock it, you know, it's like fucking hell. So the class is as dead until we breathe life into our fiction, and you will get recycled. That's in their language, in their terms, you know, like that they're telling you, but they don't teach us the language that we, you know, to decode it. But like, you know, we are in the courts now. The key is to collapse the trust and change the status, but we do it in their own system and get it stamped by their own system. But it's not going to be for everybody, that, because that's the key to the kingdom. You have to come and find us for that, because if you gave that out to everybody, you would create another hell on earth. Like, unless you're responsible and getting ready to be sovereign, and it goes to what John was saying about that timeline split. Almost, it's like a bifurcation. There'll be this over here, and there'll be this over here, and the Christ or the Antichrist. It's life v death. That's it. Everything else is a construct after that. In this, but getting a bit deep there. This is why I'm not talking at the event. You'll all be really glad to know.
You bloody well are.
As my granddad said, you're a good turn, but you're on so long. Go on, get off.
By the way, I just thought, for everyone who's just kind of on the chat now, I just want to show the trailer again, if that's all right for everyone, because we showed it earlier on. I want to just give another show to it. Ant made this. It's fucking excellent. So everyone just stand by.
Event 201, that little pandemic exercise they ran in 2019, only months before they shut the world down, they told us we needed to save Granny. They told us to trust the science. But this October, we are flipping the script with the delightful Abby Roberts, the magnificent Gareth Ike, and hosted by John Cooper, Kaylee Spell, and Ant Critchley. We present to you Event 101, an exercise in clown world sanity preservation. Because if you don't laugh, you will cry. Tickets on sale now from event101.org.
So good, mate. So good. And yeah,
I'd go to the cinema to watch that.
I know. So yeah, everyone, if you're watching this, whether it's on the live now or you're watching like the recording later, look, this event, Sunday the 5th of October, we've got 100 people. It's a 100 capacity venue in Birmingham. It's in the Actress and Bishop pub. We've got an amazing pub. It's the upstairs venue, like where they normally have gigs and stuff. It's going to be a nice intimate event. We've got Gareth Ike, Abby Roberts doing comedy. We've got amazing talks, surprise guest speakers as well. We're really gonna go into like the dark shit, but also bring it to light with some comedy and humor. I think even Gobby Granny said this as well. Debbie, you mentioned this. It's like the way to defeat this isn't to kind of get stuck into that darkness and fight. It's just to kind of come out of it with humor and just make light of it. And that's how we do it. And so this is that I remember when me and Carly were talking about this at the beginning, we were saying we have to, like, satire and parody and humor is the way to, that's the new weapon, isn't it? Like, that's the way that you defeat evil, is to show that you're not resisting it in that sense, not in the new age way of don't resist, but just actually just using a bit of lightheartedness to it and not allowing yourself to not allowing yourself to go deep into it. That's how you do it. So this event, we really want to, we're talking about quite dark stuff and stuff that's quite important societally, but we really want to, the whole thing's wrapped in humor, wrapped in lightheartedness, making everyone feel, so you don't get dragged into the doldrums of it. And I think that's actually, that's the best way to live, I think, is knowing what's going on, but don't get pulled into the vibration of it too much, where it's like takes over you, possesses you, So I think that's why, if people are interested, it's a Sunday as well, 4 till 9 p.m. Come along. It'd be just good to meet some of the people from our audiences as well, who have been following us and supporting us for years. Come and have a drink with us. Come and watch some of the talks. There'll be a carry on after, like till 2 a.m. if you want. But and people like Debbie might be a future guest or something like that, and all the other amazing people that we've had on our show. Like we'd like to bring them on at the event at some point. But yeah, like grab a ticket if you can. We've already sold a fair bunch. We're just doing super early bird tickets at the moment. Event101.org. What else can I say, guys?
No, you've nailed it, mate. It's I'm very excited, I'll be honest, and it's going to be a privilege to meet you in person as well, John, because I've not met you yet.
I haven't met Carl. I haven't met any of you yet. That's so crazy.
Well, yeah.
It's mad that, isn't it, John? Because obviously I've met loads. Yeah, so sod you, man. I'm only kidding. But I've never met John. I feel like I have weird, isn't it? But,
yeah, I know. I feel like we've met at least once or twice, but we haven't.
You're two of my
Yeah.
favourite people, so I can't
Oh,
wait
look
for
at
it,
that.
honestly.
Yeah.
It's going to be so
That's what we're
cool,
doing, guys.
Tanya.
I haven't even met these guys, and I'm doing an event with them. So that's how we roll. That's how we
It's
roll.
absolutely a roll. It's going to be great. It's going to be really, really good. And
Yeah.
you know, I just think we're very blessed that we do what we do. We enjoy what we're doing. We're creating an opportunity to meet some more people, and like you say, bring some light to a very dark world that we live in. It is at times, and it can really, really get you down at times. So let's try and enjoy an event together. And maybe during that we'll have some solutions. You know, networking is going to be important. You know, I was mocking the fact that we took a lot of people hated on each other after the COVIDs, but in general, there's still a network in place, and that's important. Callie's got a network with Dark Matters, and these networks are going to be really important moving forward. That we work together and we look after each other. I always said in 2020, nobody gets left behind. That was my motto. You know, nobody gets left behind. We look after each other, and I think that's what we need to do.
Yeah, fantastic. And could I just ask, if anyone can't make the event or doesn't want to come to the event, you know, we'd really appreciate if you wouldn't mind just sharing something of ours, you know, about the event. Maybe share the link to the website, for instance, you know, just event101.org, and just if you could, on just your wall, your Facebook wall or something, you know, just say there's an event my friends are putting on. It looks really good, you know, like. You know, that would really, really help us out. If you don't want to get a ticket, you can't buy a ticket. If you wouldn't mind just sharing it in a story and just putting a link to it in your story or on your Facebook wall, you know, we're infinitely grateful for that. So if you wouldn't mind doing that as well. And of course, we do have a little competition as well. I mentioned it at the beginning. I'll just mention it one more time here. So we are saying we're going to give 2 tickets away to the event. All we're asking you to do is go to the official event listing on Facebook, which will be in the description of this video, and just create a new post on there in the discussion and just tag 5 of your friends. That's all we want you to do. And then we're just going to pick one of those at random, and then we're going to give 2 tickets away for that. So if you'd like to do that, that's our little competition, which we're going to do. We're going to announce the winner on the next live that we do in a few days' time, all right, in a week's time or something like that. If not, just want to do traditional, like just want to come anyway, that's the link, event101.org, a piss takeoff event 201. And I think, do you know what, guys? I think this is the start of something big, you know. I get the feeling, because we know so many people. We know there's so many people in this kind of movement, this kind of, I don't want to say community, but you know what I mean? It sounds like a cult, but like we're so connected to so many like-minded people that there's a nice vibe to it. There's a nice sort of energy behind it. And I think after this one, there's no reason why we just can't keep doing them, you know.
I'm thinking of getting a T-shirt done as well. I'm thinking I'm going to have shill on my T-shirt.
I think that should be part of the merch, ma'am. Because I said that it's kind of a funny joke. We all get called shills, so I was like, yeah, you know, it's fine, it's okay. Just come hate us, come love us, but just come, yeah.
If you've not been called a shill, you've not done anything.
Exactly. Love it,
Sorry,
me.
Callie.
The gentle
Sorry, I
art of not giving a
interrupted you
fuck
then.
these days. Oh no, I was just saying, yeah, the gentle art of not giving a fuck these days, isn't it? You know, you do this for long enough, you get called. My favourite insult, I think we should finish. What was your favourite insult someone said about you? I got called a frog killer.
Why?
Why
a frog killer? What? Because you didn't want to take the thing?
Well, no. When we were doing Spellfest, we thought about having Cambo up there, which he got called a cockfest because there was some kind of sexologist there, and we were going to maybe have some Cambo. So I got some hate mail calling me a frog killer, and I thought, that I've been called a Satanist and lots of different things, but I think frog killer's my favourite.
I got called head witch of the Chorley Covent. That was quite an interesting one. And what else have I had? I've had some weird shit. I know.
I've just been called wanker, I think, or something.
Wanker.
And we don't care anymore.
I tell you what I do. I don't know if we've spoken about this, but I get lots of paranoid people watching my show, and like, you know, you've got the brickwork wallpaper. It's actual brickwork or wallpaper, but whatever it is. Yeah.
It's Masonic.
I was in a studio, and because they had that brick wallpaper in the background, someone came on and they said, look, this John Cooper, he's clearly a Freemason. clearly, because that's what they do. They have the brickwork in the background, right? And then someone followed up by time coding every time that whilst I was sat down. You just sort of touch your hands together like that. They did a time, and every time I touched my hands together and said, "Look, he's doing the Masonic hand gestures." This is like, how paranoid is that? Yeah, clip that up. Look.
I want a screenshot of that, so I'm going to have that as my T-shirt. You doing that with shill underneath.
And actually, well, and I'm about to do a Carly Decode's Clown World again, another one, because oh my god, the things I've learned since I first started rambling on online, which was a complete accident that I blame Ant for. And it's like the all-seeing eye is probably just most likely the North Star, the Eye of Polaris, which is the way out of the Matrix. So they demonize it on everything because they've got that hidden knowledge. So actually, have a bit of this. Carly's all over it. Carly's getting out. See you later. I'll leave you all to it.
Yeah.
Catch me on the next event.
You reminded me of Beyonce then, actually.
Yeah, that's what they all do, innit? Because they know, but they can't get out, so they want to keep the rest of us here, and they chase immortality. But anyway, that's a whole different podcast.
You have to come to the event, guys, if you want to. you want to crack the nut on that one? Yeah.
Right, it's been lovely chatting to you guys again.
Everyone. Yeah, thank you, and really looking forward to seeing everyone, seeing you guys, seeing everyone, all our fans. Fans. You know what I mean? The our audiences. And
I'd like a fan actually. I'd love a fan. That'd be ace.
Yeah.
Have you got a fan? I want a fan.
Imagine if we had have you seen that Alan Partridge episode where the guy's got his whole house littered with Alan Partridge?
yeah, you mentalist.
Not sure I feel about
I used to love Partridge.
Oh, amazing.
The six people win. It's absolutely classic. I love you in a way.
That's brilliant. That was brilliant.
Anyway, on that bombshell. All right, everyone.
Much love, guys. Much love.
And we'll see everyone on the next live where we announce the competition winner. Make sure you get your entries in. All right, everyone. Take care. Good night.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody.